Yeah. Why be say that you in my mind? Say you no be option, no be lie. Oh yeah, make you run away, make you fly away. Oh no, no, no. Why be say that you in my mind? Say you no be option, no be lie. Oh yeah, make you fly away, make you run away.
So
Oh
make you
no.
call on me.
Don't say I go pull up for you.
Just say I go what?
Call on me. You know say I go pull up for you. Yeah, yeah. You know say I go pull up for you. Yo, boy, ponte.
Oxygen mix.
Hey, yo. Baby girl, you fine. Because baby, can you? Yeah, you know they tire you need. Many people they are available for you. If you call and pretty woman, she say she know like can be go back and go. And if you buy am Toyota, she say she want that be go back and go. All I'm a get picky. When will you marry? Yeah. Until your body touch your belly, where I know collect. Take a easy, oh yeah. So if you buy a this and she say you know by shawarma, I can go. And if you buy a Mokrika and she say she want the Gucci, I can go. Kiki baba, jao lama, obe todu oh. I see they make the moolah, keep some for your baby. Make she no follow Alaji go no get go. So if you buy this and she say you know by shawarma, I can go. And if you buy a Mokrika and she say she want the Gucci, I can go. Hey,
Nami the mix and master.
Fiber music. Treat your woman well. Go back and go. Ma che callo facino. Yeba, oh take it back. I go be now. What you need now? What you see now? Money there for free. Mo sọ pé mo lówó. Mo sọ pé aló. Yeah, mo lówó. Mo sọ pé mo lówó. Mo ní pé mo lówó. Yeah, mo lówó. Dance it for me. Dance it if you need the money. Dance it for me. Dance it if you need the money. Shake it for me. Shake it if you need the money. Shake it for me. Shake it. Go down to the sun. Yeah, go down for the pump. Mageka lo pachino, mageka lo pakurumo. Tajuka to deleno, baby me Fatima. I go be now. What you need now? What you see now? Money there for free. I go be now. What you need now? What you see now? Money there for free. Mageka lo pachino. Mo sọ pé mo lò, mo sọ pé mo lò, mo sọ pé a lò, yeah mo lò, mo sọ pé mo lò, mo sọ pé mo lò, mo ní pé mo lò, yeah mo lò. As we dey do kerewa, let me go dance kerewa. As we dey do kerewa, let me go dance kerewa. Mageka lo pachino, mageka lo pakurumo, tajuka to deleno. Baby, me Fatima, I go be now.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. This is What's Popping with Ebon Kivinen. I'm so excited to be here today, this afternoon. Oh, yeah, we've been on a break, of course, summer holiday. You know how summer is for us in Finland. We always want to spend every bit of it with family. And I'm right here back again, autumn session, yes. This is What's Popping on JC Radio. And my humble producer, JC himself, that's DJ Joe in the building. Yes, thank you so much. And thank you all for those who are really live right now watching. I'm sure you don't want to miss a bit because we have a lot to talk about today. Yes, exclusive interview with our special guest today. Yes, how you all doing? Good afternoon. It is sunny right here in Finland. How is it over there around the world? Yeah, but I can tell you it's so beautiful today. And you can see, I'm so excited. I'm still wearing my summer clothes, but of course it's sunny out there, so that's why. Yes. How you all doing? Hope you're good. And we just finished listening to Lax Molowo. Do you know what that means? Molowo, I have money. Do you have money? Even if you don't have money, please, the peace of mind, happiness, and joy. That's what that's what is so important in our lives. And having good friends, positive people around you, that's what matters. And having your family close by, that's what matters. But money at the end of the day is nothing. All right. How you doing? Yes, this is What's Popping with Ebon. I'll be right back.
I worry too much. When I see you, they go. You make my liver they cut. All I say, make I follow you. The other say, make I wait for you. But I'm your day, my side. She make I die for you before you know say I'm you. Are you I want, baby, no be silver or gold. And if them ask you to say, you go say I'm you. I don't worry too much, okay? Yeah, just the one that will you there next to her. Say now I saw, yeah, you get this time. Yeah, I just the one that will you think of me now. I want to know, I don't worry too much, I don't worry too much. I don't worry too much. When I see you, they go. You make my liver they cut. All I say, make I follow you. The other say, make I wait for you.
All right. For those who are just joining, this is What's Popping with Ebun Kivinen. And as I said, we have a special guest. Thank you all for joining live. Live. I can see people are coming in. Yes, and we just finished listening to Lighter Worry. Yes, don't you worry about anything. All right. Let's just do everything in love and positivity around us. Yes, that's what's important. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to introduce our special guest right here because I'm so excited because we have a lot to talk about. Okay, how you doing?
Yes. I am really, really happy to be here. In fact, I have been seeing the fabulous work that you guys have been doing at JC Radio. Really, kudos to you guys. I'm happy to sit on this hot seat that I have seen other great men and women sat on, in your previous episode. So I'm
Yes.
happy to be here.
Yes,
Thank you.
don't worry. This is not a hot seat. I'll make you feel so comfortable. Yeah, but this is what What's Popping is all about, anyway. So we just want people to know who you are, and it looks so young, but this young man is doing a fabulous job in our society and in Finland as a whole, and that is why I brought him up on this. What's popping for him to be able to talk about the amazing work he has been doing. And a lot of people who has been so confused that what is this AFAS all about, you are going to know. So, but first, who is Ufoka Ugene?
Well, yes. So I'm originally from Southern Cameroon, and I came to Finland sometime in 2010. So, and yeah, what should I say? So I'm just somebody who is passionate about things that are concerned, to humans, to people, and that is like something that was right in me when I was very young. So I have always been the kid who was interested in the interests of others. If
Other
somebody
people, yeah.
else is not happy or they have a problem, even if it's not about me, I try to, to step up and try to see if I can help them. So, and currently, so I'm the chairperson of the African Anti-Racism Society in Finland, and that was founded in 2020. We were inspired by the death of George Floyd.
Oh, yeah.
And we decided that we have to take action in Finland to have like an anti-racism platform that is for Black and African people in Finland, of course, because there are different other NGOs that do this kind of work, but they have the other kinds of people as well. So we want to create a platform for like people who look like us speaking about these issues.
True.
And currently I'm doing my master's degree in Diakona University of Applied Sciences.
Okay. Great.
And I should be graduating in December this year. And so what else can I say? I am an activist, human rights, civil rights, social justice activist.
Yes.
I am an agent of change, and also I'm an entrepreneur, so I have my own business.
True.
And what else should I say?
I mean, what more things can always come up, at the end of the day. But as long as we know who you are, and not just that, it's just so amazing to see that you are the chairman of AFAS Finland, which you said is being inspired by the death of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
it was a big deal for me. Then I was pregnant with my, my fourth baby, so I couldn't come out for the match, and I saw it, the way people turned out. I was so shocked. That is the first time I could see that Finland are united, like against racism and all that, and people shouting and talking in harmony.
Yeah.
So it's just so amazing that you said that inspired you, with that. So okay, we've talked about how you've been. So how is your educational background like? You talked about you graduating, but before you came to Finland, let's start from there. Sorry.
Yeah, so like I said, I am currently doing my master's studies. And before I came to Finland, I went to school in my country. So I finished primary and secondary school. And then I moved to Finland to continue my education. So when I came to Finland, I studied social service in Diakona University of Applied Sciences.
Okay.
And then after that, I have been working in the social field.
Yeah.
So, and in Finland, you have to have the master's degree to really officially be classified as a social worker, even though you can work as a socionomy.
True.
So I just have to do this, for formalities anyway, so I can have that, qualification that, this is officially that I can work in
Yeah.
in the roles and places as a social worker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, like what I'm looking at the moment in terms of employment is creating employment for others as well,
Mhm.
because I think there's a lot of
Mhm.
opportunities out there, but the companies and the businesses are not looking to the
Towards-
talent, towards the talent of black and brown people
True.
who have this educations in Finland. So if I could, and other people could, have that interest to focus on creating employment for those target group, then it can really be good for the people of African descent, African background in Finland. Yeah.
It's so amazing that you think this way, but do you think that's because a lot of people have that question, like there's no opportunity in Finland, especially for African backgrounds, yeah? So do you think there is, because you're saying some people say, but I still feel like there's always an ish to it.
Yeah.
The ish is, yeah, you don't speak Finnish, so
Yeah.
we can give you the opportunity. And even when they speak the Finnish, then they still complain that the Africans, they're taking their jobs.
Yeah.
So which way are
Yeah.
we going with that?
Really, it depends on how you look at it, because when you always look at a glass, it can always be empty or half full in
Yeah.
that sense. So I think that, yeah, there are opportunities for everyone. There are opportunities, but I believe in creating opportunities, because there's a saying that if you are not invited on the table, maybe you need to bring a chair along and sit. But then sometimes I create your own table. Look at like what you guys are doing in JC Radio. We don't have any radio in Finland that is owned or run by foreign people in this level. So I applaud you guys for taking the initiative to start something like this.
Yeah.
And this is how we're supposed to continue, because you don't need to sit all the time waiting for somebody to create opportunities for you when you can do that yourself. So I believe more in creating those opportunities. And I think that fairly Finland is a democracy that, everyone have the option and opportunity by law to do things if they are qualified. So you could do that, So of course, because if you depend on others to create opportunities for you, then your success or your livelihood depends on another person.
Yeah.
But you can do that. And I have seen many Africans creating their own businesses in Finland. And it's very, very encouraging thing to see those in the cleaning departments, those in the nursing, those in the restaurant side, all those things. Those are very important steps to take, because, they solve the solution of, lack of opportunities.
True. And since we are talking about this, let's just run it quickly.
Yeah.
We see a lot of them creating businesses and jobs and all that. But the thing is that sometimes at the end of the day, when they started, maybe in 3 months' time or 6 months' time, the business is no more.
Yeah.
So what is the problem? What is the thing that you feel like need to be fixed?
Yeah.
And not to scare other people who would like to start up their own business in Finland.
Yeah. Personally, many Africans have called to me, and important thing in life is that you can share information.
True.
We rise by lifting others.
True.
Like we have the African proverb that say anybody who doesn't support their friends to become kings will not have friends who are kings. So I like my people to be kings, queens.
You know why?
Yeah.
You know why you think that way? Because you're a leader. A leader thinks that way. You get what I'm saying? Not everybody want to share information or even want to see other people rise.
Yeah.
But a leader shows like, oh yeah, I want to see. The more we have people who are doing stuff, the more the merrier. And we will make something great in this country so that we stop this bias and this stigma. Yes, please go on.
So before anybody wants to step up into making a business, you need to have a proper business plan.
Yeah.
And in your business plan, you have to clearly define what you want to do. You need to know that. What do you want to produce?
True.
Who are you going to sell that to?
Yeah.
How much is going to cost you to produce what you want to produce? And how much are you going to sell? So when you do those things and then you have this business plan and business strategy, then you can forecast, you can see what are you going to look like in 1 year time or 6 months time.
Yes.
So I think some people go into those things without proper planning. Not that some administrative issue, but they didn't really plan properly.
What about the tax?
Yeah, the tax.
The tax has always been an issue for some of them.
Yeah, tax is in Finland. That's why you see also many Finnish people have businesses, because when they have business, the taxes are better
True.
Yeah. So if
Okay.
you have like a toy minimi, that's like a sole
Mm.
proprietorship business,
Sure.
you have a different tax when you have a limited liability
Yeah,
company.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so like practically myself, I started as a toy minimi,
Yeah.
and then I have changed into a limited liability company. But
Okay.
then I see now that I didn't even need in the first place to have a toy
Mm.
minimi, because it was just waste of time. Because a better form of
Mm.
business is a limited liability company, where the taxes are way better. You have a lot of advantages there as well.
Okay.
You know, and when you change these businesses, you have to
Yeah.
redo the whole application again. So it's like
Yeah,
double
yeah,
work.
yeah. Okay.
So practically, if you really want to start a business, I will not even recommend you to start like a limited liability company, unless you want to
Mm.
produce some
A
very
big,
small thing. You are
yeah.
selling just small business that you make,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Very
Yeah, yeah,
small
yeah.
scale,
Yeah.
minimal scale of
Yeah.
productivity.
Yeah.
Then you can do that. But if you are doing anything that is going to earn you more than 50K a
Yeah.
year,
Mm.
you don't need to do that. You need to go to the limited liability company. So the
Mm.
taxes are way better there in that sense.
Okay, great. Because
Yeah.
we have so much more to talk
Mhm.
about. You're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
More like a politician. You're going on that way. I can see that. No, so technically, I can say you're a politician, but you're going towards that. But I know definitely if you end up being a politician, I feel that people will actually vote for you because the job you've been doing, a lot of things you've been doing, and an activist and looking after our community, making sure everybody has an equal right in this country.
Yeah.
And you talked about civil rights, you talk about human rights and all that. What is the difference with all those rights that you're really, really, really involved in?
Yeah. So practically, I really don't see myself as a politician. I know I'm an activist.
I know you're an activist.
Yes, so,
yes, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly. No, I like that point. I like it.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
So, yeah, the differences are perhaps simple, but then there are sometimes those things are interconnected.
True.
So the human right is the human rights that every human being supposed to have.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, wherever you're living, whoever you are, no matter your color, race, whatever, you are entitled to certain rights as a human. And these rights have been acknowledged by international institutions. For example, the United Nations have a declaration that is 75 years old of human rights, that so and so right, like a right to education, right of a roof over your head, food, basic sanitation needs. Those are fundamental human rights that everybody's supposed to have.
Yeah.
And then you come now to social rights. These are social rights that when you live in a society, the rights that you're supposed to have as a member of that society. You know, like a right to like a sport, hobby, club, those kind of basic things that makes you a human. You know, and your civil right comes to this right that you are entitled to have by your state, that the state is supposed to provide those rights to you. You know, like the right of free speech or right of protection, you know, of property, those kind of civil right, the right that you're entitled to, coming from your state, your government. You know, and sometimes if we live in societies that there is discrimination, then the civil rights of certain group of people might not be perhaps the priority of the state. So the state doesn't provide those civil rights to them, and then it's left for those people to fight for their rights. Like if you look at the civil rights movement in America in the 60s, where people like Martin Luther King Jr., you know, Malcolm X, and many others, Reverend Al Sharpton, and John Lewis, the late John Lewis, may God bless his soul, they stood up and fight for the civil rights of Black Americans, because in the American Constitution, they have those rights. The same like in Finland, the same as in EU, the same as in Africa, anywhere you are, there are rights that the state's supposed to provide for people, and that is their civil rights that they're entitled to.
True. Oh, wow. That's great, because there are a lot of Africans that I know that they don't know their rights.
Yeah.
And I feel like there are not enough programs for people to maybe be on the same roof so that they'll be knowledgeable about all these rights, because most of them is either that like they're scared to do some certain things. So how do you pass message to them that like this and this and this is what you should be doing, this is what you should know? So I feel also those who are willing to integrate into society from the beginning, they should know this kind of rights or what to do easily in Finland. So how do you go with that? You know, is there any possibility all these kind of things can be much more open for them?
Yeah, I think that
or platform.
Yeah, what you're saying, that there are some platforms where there's not enough platform because again, there is a language barrier. You know, so the lack of information. Then misinformation. Yes, somebody will tell you something that somebody said this, you know.
Exactly.
And it almost becomes truth. And sadly, within the immigrant community, within our African community, there's a lot of hearsay,
Yeah.
which is
True.
not correct.
True.
You know,
True.
somebody
Yeah.
will be going to apply for example, their residence permit.
Mm.
They don't go to look for the real information on the website of Migri. Yes, somebody applied last year.
And say,
This is what they have to do. No,
Yeah.
they applied last year. Maybe the next week, Migri changed their laws.
True.
You're supposed to go
True.
look there, not from somebody who applied last year. This is the things you need to do. You know, so
True.
those misinformation, lack of information as well, then the language barrier. But again, we still have a lot of opportunities and arenas that we give our information to people. You know, on social media and different social gatherings as well that people can be, we meet and talk about these things.
Yeah.
So, and we also hope that perhaps churches could take responsibility
True.
in this sector in Finland, that the churches are it's a place where
number one
place that every one of us go on Sunday.
Yeah.
So if the pastors in various churches can take that responsibility in Finland, talk about elections when the time to vote, even to remind your people to vote, because that's the thing. Remind them on these basic things about this information. It will be really good. It will be really good because you have them going there every Sunday.
True.
So that can be also a platform, and it's not yet really being used. We have tried to do that with a couple of projects. It was very successful that we go to churches, and meet people and talk about different things there in the churches.
Great,
and it was very, fruitful meetings.
It's so nice that the church kind of allowed to do that, because I still feel like, there's still more to be done.
Yeah.
Even I've talked about it on this platform as well, that like a lot of people lack information.
Yeah.
And I hope that even like me, I'm very open to tell you whatever information I have. And if I don't know it clearly, I tell them, why not go to that place yourself to find more, because I don't know how to hide information, because I want you to be great, so I don't see less of anyone. So like that, if we have more of us amongst us who knows information, it can also help. I think that will also be good. Okay, so when you sent me your name, when I saw your name, I was like, okay, at first I was like, are you Igbo? But it sounds like it's like, who get it? Maybe I just said it like Igbo way of, but you Foka.
Yeah.
But you were not explaining to me that you're Cameroon, which I felt like you should be like a Cameroon man.
Yeah.
So tell me the origin of this. You said you're from a tribe.
Africa in general, we were one big family.
Yes.
Different tribes living.
Yes.
We were intermarrying, trading
True.
and all those
True.
things before the Europeans came
True.
and start to draw borders and say, you are Nigeria, you are Ghana, you are this,
True.
So before then, our people were like, intermoving and linking. So within the Cameroons, for example, so there were times that the part of my country was part of the Eastern Nigerian parliament, and my forefather sat in the parliament in Nigeria until late 1950 something, before the independence time, 54 or something, if I remember right. And then they walked out of there. We have the British Southern Cameroons, and then it was later in the 60s that there was some kind of arrangement that we are still trying to look at today that joined us to the French Cameroon. So practically, if you come to Southern Cameroons, we have the tribe that is the same as the Delta State people, the Cross River people, the same. We dress the same. We eat the same food.
I saw one of your pictures.
We dance
yes.
the same dance as the other side. So it's the same. We do the same thing. We do fishing.
Yeah.
We do the same thing. We eat the same food. Ero, the okra, ogbono,
Really?
all those things.
Okay.
We have them the same. So I think that even you have also there, we have the Bakassi Peninsula, which is
I've always
still a
known the
debate,
history
yeah.
of the Bakassi
exactly.
Peninsula,
So we have people there like who are like more Nigerian than Cameroonian living in those places. And even in my hometown as well, most of the people there, we have like a mass population that is Nigerians who are Igbos. And the reason why they're Igbos, we know that Igbos are great business people who travel, entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So they always go and they have, if you come to my hometown, the Tico Market, 90% of the stores are owned by Igbos. So in my class also, most of the students, when I was in primary school, secondary school, they were all like Igbos in my hometown in Tico.
You're partially Nigerian anyways.
I am most Nigerian. That's the point. That's the thing. Like, no, really, for real. Many Nigerians, it's hard for them to see that I'm not Nigerian. Like when I meet people, when we talk Nigerian, they always just assume I'm Nigerian until they rather know this guy is not.
So, I think maybe when you wear the attire, then they're like, okay. When you wear Cameroon attire, so it's Cameroon. Then you wear Nigerian because it's Nigerian. But you can pass to Igbo association freely and sit down there, you being an Igbo man,
Yeah,
and you pass your message across.
I think so.
That's a pass I'm telling you now.
I think so. Even when I have traveled in Nigeria myself, I was not in Nigeria, like practically going to the borders and crossing is easy. Those of us from that part of the country.
Yes.
It's not like if you're coming from far north or some kind of like name is so different, then they pay attention. That is,
True,
and
true.
even when I'm in Nigeria, when I
Yeah.
speak there, go around speaking my pidgin in Lagos and stuff like.
You speak pidgin?
Of course.
Well, but Cameroon pidgin is different from
Cameroon pidgin is very
But
different from Nigerian
Lagos pidgin.
Of course.
Ah, how you did? How you did? Okay, now maybe this for another time. We'll
Yes.
talk about it. Yes. So AFAS. Yeah, you
Yeah.
said the full title of it, what it means, and what is the vision and mission of this organization?
Yeah. So the African Anti-Racism Society, just from its name, is telling something about Africans who are there.
Yeah.
So we felt in 2020, inspired by the death of George Floyd, that we need to create an African anti-racism platform led by African people. Emphasis, led by Africans. We are welcome to work and collaborate with any person who is doing anti-racism work.
True.
But in AFAS, we want to be an organization that the leadership representation are Black African people, Black brown people, people who identify themselves because
as Blacks.
Yes, you can never force. You cannot tell somebody how to identify. They have the right to choose.
True. True.
So,
yeah.
And our vision was that we want our voices to be heard. We want to create a platform that we can give help that is needed to our people with the cultural competence.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if an African person is experiencing racism in Finland, when we encounter them, we understand their reality. It is different if someone who is, let's say, one of their parents is from European descent, and the other one is African.
True.
They have a different cultural background they're coming from that we might not have. Of course, we still work with them, but it's just we just felt that there is that massive population that we need to do this kind of work for them.
Yeah.
And we want to galvanize the African community as well, to bring them together, to create some solidarity among our different African communities that we have in Finland. And also one of our main objectives was that we want to emphasize to improve on an inclusive, fair society in Finland, that people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by their character. And we want to create a society that is going to be, equal opportunity, equal, rights and treatment of everybody, no matter their residence status, no matter their gender, marital status, their economic status, or even their criminal record, because they are still human beings.
They're still,
that they deserve to have their civil rights respected, social rights respected, and their human right respected, and to be treated with human dignity that they deserve.
This is a great job that you're really doing. I really, really commend you for that. And that is why I always applaud people who are really forefront, because it's not easy to do this and even say you want to represent an African community, not only African community, the whole community as a whole, as an African. So that one is applause on my own side for you to do that. So you talk about your bio, you send me your biography, and where I saw a part you were talking about gender equality. What does it mean to you in an African community? Because there's always a hish with that. So you know where we come from.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think that part of my work that I do, things that I'm very passionate about, started right back in Africa. I didn't come to Finland to become this person. I already brought this package here. And one of the strongest, most admired person in my life is my mom. A single mom who raised,
wow,
all of us. Work
How many
hard,
are you guys?
24/7. We are 9 altogether.
Your mom did that.
Yes. Wow. So, and sent everybody to college, to school, right to university, single-handedly. She was fierce, and her circumstances taught me a lot. She is a woman who decided
she's very strong
to move from one town to the next and search employment and move her family, with or without the backing of the husband or the family. So if you're talking about a feminist, I grew up with one.
Yeah, wow.
And she taught me that there's really no difference between a man and a woman, and what a man can do, a woman can also do, because what she managed to do. I haven't seen men who can do the same thing. I haven't seen many men. They are men, but I haven't seen many men who can do the same. She did it with love, with grace.
Wow.
You know, so that really showed me the value of an African woman, if I may say. That the African society, if you go back thousands of years before the European came, our society was constructed on the backs of women. Our women were the foundation of African society.
True.
And now, when the Europeans came to Africa, we in Africa now have been, we can say, like J. Rollins says, that we have been westernized or Europeanized in a way that we no longer see the same value in African women as they used to be back there before the Europeans came. To be honest.
True. No, true.
Back then,
we
if you look
so hard.
like in Nigeria, look at the Yoruba, the Benin, the Benin Empire, the Yoruba, the big Lagos, the Yoruba people.
I'm Yoruba.
Exactly. Women were the business entrepreneurs who go to market, sell stuff. They keep them, they were the accountant of their family.
True.
Not because they knew how to count money more than I went. It was because they were like better, stronger to do those things. And the men were doing other stuff, you know. But today, for some reasons, there's so much new culture in Africa that the Africans don't even know who they are anymore, you know. And now we have also the Western feminism as well that is in Africa that doesn't take into account the African cultural context.
True.
And when I talk about gender equality, I'm speaking from that context of African culture, you know, and that may not mean the same thing with the modern definition of gender equality work today.
True.
But my background is coming from that you know, I have seen from my own mom what a black woman, an African woman can do. I have read in books before the Europeans came to our continent what the women were capable of. We have warriors as well. We were women.
True.
You know,
you're right.
But if you go to Africa today, the way our brothers, the way even our own sisters carry themselves, they don't see that much value in them. And, you know, this is what I'm doing. It's not like, it might be like, this is like kind of like my approach is more like empowering again or reinstating that greatness in women in general, that women are very capable. Women have been historically very important in society. Even today, if you're talking about mediation, international peace mediation, women are playing very key roles in the United Nations because women have a different temperament, how they approach things, how they do with things, you know. So for me, it's more about like empowering women back to regain their power, to reclaim that who they really are in today's society, no matter where they are.
You're really very knowledgeable, and I applaud you for that. And, you know, I have to commend your mom as well for a great job, you know, raising you up this way. And I'm really proud of who you are. Just knowing what you've done, you know, and what your mom has, you know, had a big impact in your life. I'll say, Mommy, thank you for raising him up this way. I think we need more men like you who can reason that way. So that means you give lots of women, let me just say all African women, big respect, you know. Of course, that's another topic on its way, you know, which we can talk about sometime. But because we have so much to talk about, so we'll just waive that. Yes. So you recently had the match, you know. What is it all about? For especially those people that maybe they just saw like, oh, what's this match all about? But what is it all about?
So we had a protest demonstration it's last month in July.
Yeah.
We had first one in July, early July, if I remember right. And then there was another one later on in was it in July also? Yeah, later on in July. We have had two of them. So the first one we were protesting against the proposed new Finnish government policies or reforms on immigration and integration. And we currently have a right-wing Finnish government at the moment. And I must have to say this, you know, we are not against democratic processes.
Of course.
We know these people were elected by the masses to be in the parliament. So we are not against political parties or against individuals. We are against policies that we consider to be inhumane and we consider to be policies that does not respect the human rights of all citizens, and the policies that does not take into account the human, you know, dignity of all who is in Finland. So that is what we are protesting against, that the Finnish government has decided to like tighten the immigration policy. For example, they have the proposed policy that if you are living in Finland with a working residence permit
Yeah.
and you lose your job within 3 months, if you don't get a new job, you are liable
out.
to be deported out of Finland.
That's not
And
cool.
that is very harsh and
Yeah, it
unrealistic in a
is.
way, because we all know that it takes more than 3 months to find a new job.
Yeah.
Unless you want people to just be looking for any kind of job because they need to be employed,
True.
then they will never achieve their full potential. You know, because in order for any human being or any person to really achieve their full potential, they need certain conditions, certain things need to be in place for them to climb the ladder, to really achieve what they want to be. Perhaps they need to go to a Finnish language class. Perhaps they need to upskill their labor skills, like their knowledge. They need to take some course in IT. Perhaps they need to go back to university and do some crash course, you know. Perhaps they need to do driving to get a driving license. There are many things that people need to do to redefine, you know, their qualities and step back into the labor market. And those things are very important. They are part of the process, you know, that every government, every society needs to be able to give those resources to people. And the Finnish government is saying, no, we can give those resources to Finnish people, but we cannot give those resources to you with immigrant background residence permit people.
Can you imagine that?
So it's like you can just come to Finland, work and pay taxes to us, but we are not going to support you in any way to upgrade yourself or to climb up the economic ladder.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so in that sense, you are treating this foreign labor as some kind of a labor market too. They are like robots or people that they can just work and you discard them.
Yeah,
Work,
more
pay
like
tax.
treating us like we're just beggars.
Exactly. So just that kind of, which is not very humane, and it is kind of like discriminatory in nature also,
It
because
is. Yeah.
in the Finnish constitutions, this Anti-Discrimination Act, that is not is you cannot separate people like that in society.
True. And some people also said that this reform is like against Africans mostly. What do you say about that? Because they're saying, okay, even if at all Europeans that they feel like opportunities are being given to more Europeans that is coming in than Africans.
Yeah. I think to an extent, when you look at the new proposed reform, the elements of racism in those reforms, in the sense that the government already proposed where they want to be getting immigrants to come to work in Finland, Brazil, India, and Philippines. Okay. But why do you even want to get those people to come when you already have a lot of
them.
people who are already here qualified from your educational institutions? So I wouldn't say that the policies are specifically targeting Africans, but the thing is that the most vulnerable immigrants, most likely in Finland, are people of African descent or these African immigrants in Finland.
True.
So, and that is the thing, you know. So you have those people who came here as refugees, those who came to study, and different. And people have migration is a fundamental human right. People have the right to migrate. If you want to move to Ghana, Nigeria, you want to move to Guinea, anywhere is your right as a human being, no matter the reason. You know, so we shouldn't ever look down on that or try to think that, oh, why are they migrating in the first place? It's, throughout humanity, people have migrated. The Europeans themselves, they have moved sometimes in Africa to get food when they have nothing to eat in Europe here. People have been moving around. It's as old as civilization, you know. So the thing is that, yeah, these new proposed policies, they might affect Africans more because they have a certain tendency that they come to Finland, certain route that they can maybe study, family union, those kind of things, the whole certain kind of residence permit. But then the European immigrants, they are already from EU, right? So they have a right to come here and work.
And easy to just go to their home.
To their home country back easily.
Ours
so
is far away. So if they
exactly.
bring their family, I mean, it's just to make it easier for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of like they are still walking around their own home country in a way. So I wouldn't say that the policy specifically targeted African people, but we are going to be the most affected because we have a certain status in Finland. And this is a very important thing I have to say, that I have lived in Finland 13 years. And this is the first time I'm saying in public that I'm a Finnish citizen. I know people who have been here more than 13 years. Before I came, they have never applied to become a Finnish citizen.
True.
So
No,
when
you're
I
right.
ask these people, why are you doing this to yourself? Because you need to fulfill your certain right. Many Africans need to stop living on this permanent residence permit, apply to become a Finnish citizen. Because now this right doesn't affect anybody who's Finnish citizen. It affects those who are still on permit.
True.
You know, so and
True.
now people need to be
Yeah.
to have this right information. Why are you
Mm.
staying in Finland for thousands of years with a residence permit
Mm.
when you have already exceeded the limit to become a Finnish citizen? And now they are even trying to tighten the citizenship laws by adding very tough the language and the culture. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
But other ethnic groups, when they come to Finland,
Yeah.
from the Middle East or from the Arabs, as soon as they are 4 years old in Finland, they'll apply for their citizenship because
yeah.
it secures you.
Mm.
But our people take these things for granted. And
I
now
think also they take the Finnish language for granted.
everything is not even like so tough language to learn to in this the B3 whether you need for the UQ test. It's really not that
UQ
hard.
test, yeah. I did a UQ test, but before I did a UQ test, I was already like 7 years. I think maybe because I had a permanent residence and I can still go wherever I want to go. Then one day when we went home with the whole family, then my husband said, "Only your passport is different." then he was like, "When you get back to Finland, go and do the test." So I came back then and I went to the test. I didn't even realize that okay, time
Exactly.
has gone
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But I went to go and do the test, like I could do the test. I mean, so I just went straight and I did, and I got my citizenship.
Exactly.
And I think also the language barrier thing also causes it, and some people don't even know when the right time to go and get their citizenship. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people with different stuff, because when I went to do this exam, yeah, I saw some Nigerians there, and I saw a familiar face, a Nigerian that told me that he has been living in Finland that time, 15 years, that time. So and I said, why haven't you gone to do these exams? They said, I don't know. And the money aspect, there's no time and everything like that. It could be also the time as well.
What time? What time are you talking about?
I mean, time.
People
walking, especially those who walk.
Walking. What are you walking? Like what? What money? This is the problem.
There should be a break. Me too. I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
People should have time for themselves.
No, but
like
it is
time to think and see what next to do in the society.
It is a very important thing to, apply for your citizenship. I'm not saying that the citizenship is really something that you must have, or it's like it doesn't really change. You have your permanent residence permit, you have the same rights almost as equal as a citizen.
True.
But you don't have one of the most important rights. We talk about civil rights of a person.
Yeah.
The right to vote in parliamentary elections and presidential elections.
Exactly.
So you will forever remain a subject to be governed by those who have the right to vote.
True.
So you have many Africans
True.
who have the right to become Finnish citizens. They have never applied. So they never vote in parliamentary elections. And the parliament makes laws for them very difficult to bring their wives and family to Finland.
True.
You see how that goes back to hurt them. So it is wise for them to, because the political power of a person is stronger even more than the economic power.
True. Yeah.
True. And these two things go together.
Yeah.
So our African community, people need to understand that we need to have political power. And political power, political brings you have leverage. Because even politicians and political parties don't listen to people who doesn't vote or who doesn't have right to vote.
True.
And that is why the Finnish government, for over the time, they continue to make policies that are really bad and towards our own group of people, because they don't listen to us. You don't vote, by the way. Why should I, if I'm a politician, why should I listen to you when I know that you're not going to vote?
I must say that I felt good when I was a citizen.
Exactly.
That I was able to vote,
exactly,
during presidential.
Your one vote is very important.
It makes me feel like, oh yeah, this feels good. Like I'm part of the society.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't even read meaning to that. They just think, what is voting? What does it count? So, but anyways, yes, I just hope, as I said, I'm still going to be saying it, that I think we still need a bigger platform for all Africans.
No, we do.
To be well educated about what is
happening
going on
in Finland.
And
you guys have already started with the JC Radio.
Yes.
Listen, this is very powerful. You guys need to continue this work, because from here, we have to raise the awareness, educate our people. We have to be grassroots based.
True.
And then we will create that platform. It doesn't just come from the sky.
True.
It has already started. It's in progress.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm so passionate about that. Maybe because of, that's what I represent since I came in here. And I'm so glad that DJ Joe was able to create this for me to be also to be able to do this,
Yeah.
to pass more information out there. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. The next protest is coming when?
So we have the next protest, demonstration on the 25th of August.
Yes.
We are going to start at 3 p.m. We finish at 5. So we are going to gather at the Senate Square, the white big building in Helsinki.
Yeah.
And we march through Alexander Rikato to Manhemintie to the parliament. And then they will be giving speeches. And again, we are protesting about the same thing. So this demonstration is being organized by the African Anti-Racism Society, the specialists in Finland. You have the International Working Women. You have the Pakistani professionals in Finland. You have some Kurdi professionals as well. You have the Diaspora Glitz magazine. And you have the Helsinki Left. You have so there's many NGOs that are coming together. And what we are trying to construct is what we think should be an alliance, Immigrant Right Alliance Finland. So different organizations and communities that are interested to talk, advocate, and lobby for the rights of immigrants. And again, very important. You, me, those of us who already are citizens in Finland, these laws doesn't really affect us. But as again, these are issues that are about humans. So we have to care. So if it's not about you, please don't think that I don't care. It's not about me. You should join your voice. So I'm strongly calling on our community. Even if it doesn't concern you, even if you have your Finnish citizenship, even if it doesn't concern you, black, white, whatever race or ethnicity you come from, please let us come together, join our voice, because when they start to take the laws and the rights of a certain group of community, when you leave that happen, the next it will come to the next group that is vulnerable. So now these immigrants who have the residence permit, they are the vulnerable group that the government is targeting.
True.
And if we leave them, next they might think that, okay, but why can't we, they can think of something next. So we need to come. We need to be out there to protest and to stand with them in solidarity. Even if you have completely nothing about this issue, but you still need to come, because the immigrants' right is also human right, and it's important.
So you've heard it on the 25th of August that we're going to gather at the, what's it called? The
Senate Square.
The Senate Square in Helsinki, where everyone will gather and our voices will be heard, because of course this man is doing an amazing job. In our own way, we can be advocates. Yes, I do mind the way I can do it, even right from time. I've always been that person, because I always see the next person, I want them to win. If you don't know what to do, I'm just right there, like, this is where you should go. This is what you should do. So we all can always come together and do it in our own way. Some people will think that, like, activism, you have to be out there for us to be seen. No, you can do it every corner you are. At work, in any place that you've been placed to, you could do that, because we do need ourselves. We need our community to come together. And that's what brought me into this question. Why is it important that our community, should be part of this? How important is it? Because some people still question, maybe if I'm not there, or it's not necessary that you have to be there. If you are busy, if you're less busy, of course, you can always be there. But why is it so important for all of us to be together?
Because there is strength in numbers. Practically, you can say that. So if we all come together, the larger the crowd, then the more people take it seriously, the more the message is going to go far. And again, there's a saying that, if there was a certain job that was supposed to be done and everybody is thinking that, okay, somebody else is going to do it, at the end of the day, nobody's going to do that. And the thing is going to stay down there. So if you think, if I'm not going, somebody else is going to go, at the end of the day, nobody goes, and like you said it also, it's just small things. You don't need to, activism, it doesn't need to be, it's not a celebrity job. You don't need to be out there known or whatever. You can do your own things in a very small way, I always tell people about this African proverb that, if you think that you are too small to make a change, then try to spend a night in a tent with one small mosquito.
That's a great one.
You see how the mosquito is going to frustrate you at night.
Don't tell me about that.
So, only one.
Yes, true.
So just a little act of kindness. It can be the smallest thing to do. It can be like, sometimes people walk on the street.
Yes.
And they're like, do you know this place? Excuse me. But I like when I'm on the street, for example, then black people approach me to ask for, where they're going. I
Mm.
stop, take my phone, I help them as I can.
Yeah.
I go.
Yeah.
But I have heard other people, like, you try to approach somebody, they are running away, they don't want to, like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's just the mentality.
yes, you're just like afraid of your own fellow black
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So who should they go and ask? They should go and ask, white people where they're going.
True.
So just help people, just being kind.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
smallest act of kindness is activism as well.
Yes, you're right.
You know?
Right. Yes. I think that no, you're really right, because this part of this mosquito just really made me laugh, because what do you do when you find a mosquito? Are you gonna keep it or you're gonna kill it? So, anyways, yes, okay. Okay, let's move on, because you don't have much time, So, and we talk about now. I love Finland.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful country. I'm really safe with my children in here. Do you think this country is safe enough? Because I interviewed a politician that came sometime, and she was talking about that she's out there to say, okay, Finland can be safer, and people got confused about that. And the reason is because of a lot of things that people are going through in here. How dare they see us? Oh, we're the happiest country in the world, But in here, some of us start questioning, how happy are we? Because there are a lot of things going on in the society in terms of racism, and you see the ranking statistics.
Yeah.
When you check the Google, that Finland is high up there in racism. So how well can you, interpret this in your own way? Because I know how everybody interpret, okay, if Finland is a safe country for you, yes, it is safe for me in different ways.
Yeah.
And how is it for you in terms of when you know that the racist is real, the discrimination is real, a lot of things are just, even in the mental services too, people still question a lot of things in the health services too. They still question a lot of things.
Yeah.
So in your own way.
Well, I think, like you said, these things can be depending on perception, how every individual perceive
True.
and define what is safe, but I would say straight ahead that Finland is a very, very great, beautiful country.
It is.
There's a lot of good people in Finland.
It is,
good
yeah.
people, just like any other society. That there's always the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And Finland also has those kind of people as well in Finland. So yes, when we talk about Finland being safe, I think that I will say legally that it is safe based on the legal aspect.
Yeah.
In the sense that if somebody does something bad, therefore there are institutions that are going to act to bring justice. But in other countries,
not like
I don't want to call names.
No,
yes,
I would say my own country. Like
that if something happened to someone, there might never be any
justice
or accountability in that sense.
I know.
So that is the thing, because when you look at the racism, for example, let's talk about racism.
Yeah.
Let's talk about United States and Finland. They are very big contrasts in that sense. America have their own history with racism, and Finland has. But the one singular issue is that America have the institutions, but sometimes the institutions don't work as they're supposed to work when racism happens, because some people try to bend the law.
True.
Those who are in charge, because they're also racist.
True. Yeah.
But in Finland, that is a very different thing, because it will be very hard for us, let's say, the police chief in Finland to try to, intervene, to, you know what I mean, to go out of his way to make some injustice.
No, you're right. Yeah.
It's very hard, because it doesn't happen that way in Europe. So in that sense, I'll say, but in the safe of, like, for men can feel safe. But is it safe for women? Women can feel safe. Is it safe for
men?
Other kind, for men, this kind of things. For kids, black person, white person, so all those stuff. So I think that it depends on perception. And also, of course, we see the rise of racism in Finland. In 2019, there were being black in EU, Europe research that was made. Finland was the most racist country in Finland. And there are also many studies that prove this thing. This is not just me and you talking. These are academic research, done by European institution that place Finland high up there in that sense. So when you are doing anti-racism work, of course, you are not that really safe, because people do attack you.
True.
People do want to do harm to you.
True.
If you are being a voice for the black people and you are doing things, you need to be careful. You need to take your security careful as well, because I even heard sometimes we have the Sudanese guy who was in parliament,
Yeah.
who was in the metro and was attacked. I was like, bro, what are you doing in the metro? Why are you sitting in the metro? Because there will always be some crazy person who will want to do something to you. Not even because they are for whatever reason they may have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
So you must take these things into account and try to first protect yourself, before you think of like, the state is protecting you in that sense. So I think in that sense, I would say, yeah, we can say that, yeah, Finland is in a way okay. That if there will be some kind of accountability if something happened. That's the
True,
only thing that
true,
I would like to have
true.
if I'm living somewhere.
And I think it's also based on experiences.
Yeah.
Everybody's experiences is different. I have
Yeah.
my own experience. I know how I deal with racism when I see one. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I know how well I let it affect me, or is that I let it affect me or I get up. What will I do? At the end of the day. And even my children, they've gone through that.
Yeah.
That I have to stand
To
up as
educate.
their
Yeah.
mom,
Yeah.
to address that issue, on behalf of them at school. So I mean, that doesn't say that okay, I don't love Finland. I still love Finland the way
Yes.
I do. I still see that it's still safe for me. It's safe for my children.
Yeah.
It's safe for in a lot of aspects. But of course, my experiences will always be my experiences.
Yeah. That's true.
But I just have to find a way how to
navigate those things.
navigate it
Yeah.
without affecting my life, as long as I am living in Finland.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I can say with mine. Yeah.
Definitely, that's true. What you're saying is true, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It's a waste of your time, waste of your energy
True.
to put yourself in situations that you could have prevented or avoided.
True.
In that
True.
sense, so it is
Yeah.
sad that we Black and brown people have to learn how to navigate those spaces. But I always encourage people to learn to navigate those spaces.
Yeah.
If you hear that there are
Instead
places,
of complaining.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you know that there's this nightclub or this bar that they don't want, why you take yourself to those places? Because it's a waste of your time and energy.
True.
And you're even going there to give them your money in that place. So what is the point are you trying to prove here?
And I tell people that complain a lot. Not that complain. Okay, let me not say complain. Let me just say, okay, just talking about the whole issue on and on and on. Then maybe when I keep saying that, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Mm.
And they were like, okay, go this way. Then later complain and talk about it on and on. So it becomes like it's complaining. Then the next question will be like, why not leave?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
If you don't know how to navigate it, I tell you my experience. This is how I do it. This is how, at the end of the day, I want to live here. This is
Yeah.
my country.
Mm.
Basically, this is my first country now. This is home.
This is home.
This is home for me.
It is.
So if it's home for you, I'm making it home for me.
Yeah.
So I have to look for a way, around the whole issue.
There's no perfect society.
True. You're right.
Mm.
In as much you go to different jobs, you still see some, staff not, being
Yeah.
really there for you as a colleague.
Yeah.
But does that mean you have to jump from one job to another to find a perfect one? So
Exactly.
that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talk about, you have a project that you're having with Think Africa. What's it all about? You sent it to me. That's something that you're doing with Think Africa about this.
Yeah.
immigration thing. Yes.
No, I think that is my thesis.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
do you want to talk about
yeah,
that?
yeah, of course,
Yes.
of course. Let's
Yes.
talk about it. So
yes.
I am doing my thesis, my
Yeah.
master's thesis, as I said.
Mm.
So I'm trying to study the experiences of Black people in the Finnish labor market, aka Black people. You know what I mean?
Of course, of course.
So-
now we be Black people now.
Exactly. So I want to see how does race, influence or impact, employability in Finland.
Mm.
Because there are many research that has been done in Finland that talks about discrimination in the Finnish labor market, especially the one that was done about the last names of people who are applying for jobs, and all those research and studies have been made about discrimination, racism in Finland and in the labor market.
Yeah.
But there have really never been any research that takes the element of race, because, even in Finland, in the Finnish academia, they don't want to talk about, we are now in the post-racial area somehow in Finland, that
True.
people don't want to talk about racism anymore. They don't talk about cultural differences, diversity, multiculturalism, those things. They want to lump everything now in one basket, because even the word race in Finnish is kind of very racist and a tough word to use, because it's referring to breed of, like, you talk about breeds of dogs or
True.
breeds of animals. So in a way, Finnish, we don't like that word rude to in their own language itself,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I decided that wait, it seems like there's an elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. You know, that it's maybe the difficulties of language, but there are people who speak this language though.
Yeah,
they don't
true.
still have the job.
True.
Or maybe the difference is their education. No, there are people who have studied here in your universities,
True.
PhDs, many others.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
so then I said, no, I'm going to make this study to find out how does race influence or impact employability in the Finnish labor market. And I'm doing that in collaboration with Think Africa. So Think Africa is a cooperation partner for that with the Diakon University of Applied Sciences in Helsinki.
Okay.
And Think Africa is organizing those who are going to be interviewed for this thesis.
Yeah.
And we are interviewing Black people who are employed, who are working. You know, because we don't want any person who is not employed because they might have bias of the system.
There'll be a lot of bias.
We want to. And also I want to capture the positive success stories. You know, because maybe we are just talking too much that there's no way to get employed. You're not. But then there are people who are saying that, hey, you know, they don't see that problem. You know what I mean? So I want to look at the opportunities, the success stories, not only the challenges that Black people face in the Finnish labor market.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an amazing thing. I think the more we keep talking about this issue, I think out there, then they start realizing that maybe they already realized, but just to say that, okay, we are all working together to see how we can change some certain things, you know, solution to it.
Yeah.
And if we are, as we say, that if we are stronger together, I mean, the
Yeah.
better the community will be like. So yeah, kudos to you for going towards that aspect. Yeah. So briefly, you know, because I know that well, you said it, but I know that you do consider yourself as a change maker in this country. As I said, that I commend you for doing what you're doing. And how much more can you talk about you making a change in the society?
Well, I will start again with the mosquito proverb. You know?
Okay, now.
So making change
Yes.
doesn't need to be big things.
Yeah, true.
Small things.
Yeah, true.
You know, because you know, and also there's this quote of Nelson Mandela. I think many others have said the same thing, you know, as we shine our light bright, that light also inspire others.
True.
You know, so just you, Ebon, being you, doing what you're doing here is a source of inspiration to other people. It's a change that you are making.
True.
You know, that many other Black or brown women in Finland can say, wow, look at somebody doing this thing. I can also do it.
Do it, yeah. True.
You know?
Yeah.
So sometimes people think that being a change maker or to make change or to make influence, you need to climb Mount Everest. No.
True.
Sometimes you just need to be you, being true to yourself.
Yeah.
Being kind to someone on the road, on the street. You know, just living life in the best possible way.
Integrity.
Your children are watching as well. Also, they are saying what to do, how you carry yourself around.
Yeah.
But so that's the basic way I would say it. But then again, I would say, like with my activism, that I know I put myself out there for the community. And this is why, like, activism is not, you are not a politician, because politicians have their agenda.
They do. But do you think someday you will go into politics? Like,
I don't know. You know,
I feel you will go through that.
I think
because the way I'm watching,
I think I'm too raw to be in politics.
Oh, you mean with Jackie Chan, all of them there?
Exactly. you know, when you are too hot-blooded, you know, there's very few real activists who enter politics and stay in politics.
True.
Because politics have to conform you. You have to calm down. You will tell people, like, oh yeah, now calm down. Oh, this thing, we know again like that now.
Yeah.
Because you are inside, you know. So I like to be outside, to be the voice, to raise things and to talk. And in that sense, being in that position, you know, is something that, you know, it's not only for myself, it's for others and those who are going to come after me. And in a way, yes, because when think about making a change, it's not you alone doing stuff, because you don't do anything. Because I'm very, very critical with this stuff, and I always say to people, don't go around thinking or saying that you are able to help other people. No, people help themselves. Nobody helps another person.
True.
It's the same thing when you go to make a project in a village in Africa. Don't go there, say, I'm going to teach them how to plant corn or thing. No.
Mm.
These people know these things. People have potential, skills in them, power in them.
Yeah.
Inspire them to blossom. That's all you need to do.
True.
I'm not going to, who am I to say I'm going to change the world? No. I just try to get people rolling, inspire someone else to realize a potential. They go up by themselves. You know, so that is how this thing is done in that sense, because you cannot really, I don't really like to say that I help somebody.
Yeah.
Because it's a very big thing to say that you help someone.
Somebody, yeah.
What do you mean
Because
by
they already
that?
have the skills. Some of them already have the skills.
People have the skills.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
have the potentials.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
have what it
You
takes.
just need someone to show them the way.
Exactly.
You know, how to do
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
and then it
that's
goes.
great. Yeah, really great. You're such a power machine, you know, which I see that definitely if you go into politics, hey, you know, but I can see that you're the type that you say what you mean, you know, and that I love about you. Like you say what you mean. I'm that kind of person too. I hate the situation whereby you say something, then you turn it around and like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So if you don't go that route, yes, which I know that some politicians they say some things and they don't mean it at the end of the day. So yeah, but we've been talking about work, activism, everything in your life, but we've not even talked about. Are you married?
No.
You single? Any man that coughs.
No.
Any man that coughs. It is complicated.
No, the reason why I did that is because I do activism, right?
Yes.
I am out there, but I put my private life private.
True.
That's why
True.
I feel like, is this the place for me to have this conversation?
No, I mean you can
We can-
easily pass it and like nope.
Yeah,
no,
so-
or you don't want to talk about it.
No,
it's fine.
No, definitely I can say that I'm not married.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
that's like
Great.
that's nothing.
Let's put it out there.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that. Yes, you know. But you know, because this is a place we're just chatting.
Yes.
I don't want it to look like, oh, we're just having an interview and that's a serious.
Yeah.
No, let's just say. So what do you do for fun? Yes, I know activism. Yeah. What do you do for fun? Do you relax? Do you read books? Do you know, go out with your friends, go dinner? What do you do?
Yes, I hang out with my friends. And
Yeah.
like I said, most of my friends are Niger guys. That's why people always think that I'm Nigerian. In
Nigerian,
Finland.
yeah.
I hang out with them. We play football.
Okay.
You know, we have this group. We play football like
Yeah.
2 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Mm.
And you know, I read books. You know, those things I do. A lot of reading and studying, because you need to be up to date.
True.
You know, when you are out there, you know,
I can see,
doing
yeah,
stuff.
you know your history, you know everything.
Yeah,
So
so-
that's really great. Yeah.
In that sense.
Yeah.
Mm.
So when you hang out with your friends, you talk about what's going on, or you just
Very
because-
interesting. Yeah.
because you know sometimes you're like someone who's in this kind of job, what do you be saying? Will they be
Exactly.
saying things,
Exactly.
you know, like
Exactly.
yeah.
So just like your show, what's popping? You know, when I hang out with my friends, sometimes they're like, "Guy, what's popping?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to talk about activism now. Let's, you know, because you cannot take these things everywhere.
True.
And this is the thing that, you know, I talk about. People need to learn how to navigate certain things. You know, there are certain conversations that they are place and time.
True.
Not if people we are trying to have fun and eat our food, we start talking about politics. People will drop their spoon down now.
Because that's what most of them do.
No.
They talk about what's going on back home.
Yes.
Yeah. The government. Yeah. And the next thing is, you know, okay, that's for another day.
Exactly.
You know, that's why I'm just so curious. Like,
no, definitely. I really try to say. And the thing is that if somebody doesn't know me personally, they'll never know that I'm doing what I'm doing.
True.
Yeah. It is like,
you're very simple. I like people like that. You know, very humble. They're doing their thing. They don't need to say until you're like, oh, voila, you do this.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like that. No, on the low down.
Yeah. And like one comment, I think that we started to talk about it in some of the questions earlier. In that sometimes African people in Finland or outside of Finland, also in Europe, in the diaspora, they're afraid to speak because they feel that, oh, my own bread is going to be taken away from me. Those who are employed, those who have made it, they don't want to talk about anything. They're they become now what we call them inside slaves. You know, now you're inside. You don't want to talk because you are afraid that if you talk, they'll kick you out.
True.
That is a big lie.
True.
Because every place where I have worked,
Mm.
they have actually liked me because of what I am.
Yeah, true.
I went to interview and said, "Oh wow, we saw you on LinkedIn. We saw what you're doing. We saw that's very good."
Mm.
I'm like, really? I say, yeah, okay, but I didn't come here for that.
Mm.
You know,
True.
and I don't
Yeah.
know where people get this information that when you are out there, the system is going to come after you. No, the system
That's always
is,
been
yeah,
that mentality.
that mentality.
Yeah.
You know,
Even me, it has always, they always remind me, oh, you can't do this, you can't do. Oh,
What?
if you do this,
Yeah.
I said, hello, this is me. Okay.
Exactly.
So I'm doing what I can do. This is me. I'm not copying nobody. And if you accept me the way I am, fine, accept me the way I am.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, people love me the way I am.
Exactly.
You know? So
exactly.
you know, it's
No.
up to whoever.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I really want to say this to our people, like, if your hands are clean, if you not touch bitter leaf, your hand will go bitter.
True.
Right?
True.
You know, but there are those who
Especially if you're being an activist.
Exactly.
Your hands has to be
your hands need to be clean,
Yes.
crystal,
finish.
because they will dig your things.
No, true. That's what.
And
yeah.
you see, there are some
yeah.
few Africans who have been doing this activism stuff here. From, for example, let's say the Somali communities. There have been a lot of scandals among them, because when your hand is not clean, my brother, shut up.
Yeah.
Because you cannot be doing this thing when, you know,
True.
so you need to know. And, you know, so this is the thing, like, people need to be brave. When your track record is clear, you are doing your things clearly, you are not involved in any illegal activity, anything, you know, it's fine. People will instead actually finish people. Let me say this, like the people who are like trying to speak up for other people, because it's something that in the Western society, they admire that. They admire the honesty, and they admire someone who is doing things for others and they are not being paid for. Because they know that it's not your job even doing this radio show.
True.
It's just your passion and your love to serve community.
Yes.
And they respect that, they admire that. They know that I'm just an activist. I'm not getting paid for that. I still come to work.
Yeah.
I do my work. You know, so they really respect that in people. But for some reasons, our people think that that is a bad thing for you.
No, it's not. That's why I said that we need more of this platform. We need more of some place that people can learn from and said, okay, these people are doing it, I can do it. These people are saying, that's why if I see an African, especially in the field I'm working, and they start questioning, I say, let me do something. You have right to say you can't do this. You have right to do this. You have the right, you know, don't feel like you cannot say. Don't be scared, you know, because I saw that a lot of people they don't know what to do. They don't know their rights here in this country. But hey, it's been so interesting. Very, 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 this is an exclusive interview I'm actually having with you that I'm really appreciative that you came to. I must say, what is your last word before we go? Because you have a place to go. We don't have the whole day here. Yes. So your last word.
My last word, I would say Ubuntu.
What's that?
Ubuntu, the African
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu, yes. That I am because you are. I don't exist without you.
True.
So this is
true.
What I want to tell our people here in Finland. That is the African tradition and mindset. Let us be our brothers and sisters keepers.
Preach it, boy.
You know?
Preach it.
And only in this way, we need to come together. And we are already starting that process. We are going there, you know? And that is the only thing that's going to give us the strength that we're supposed to show.
Yeah.
And that is going to make us reach our full potential. You know? And I am very, very positive that the future is bright.
It
if
is.
we step up and do what we have to do. We already are in the process. We need to continue to get there. That the next generation, you know, we have a better Finland and perhaps a better world that we can leave back behind for them. And that is based on the Ubuntu principle. It's not about me. It's about us.
We will say amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen. So shall it be.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Ugene Ufoka. I just like this your name here.
You can give one of your kids.
It's so amazing to have you here. I'm so happy. And keep doing your amazing job that you're doing. As I said, we need more of you out there. Keep inspiring people. You inspire me too. And I'm so happy you came on What's Popping with Ebo on JC Radio. And thank you all out there who joined us live. And you can still check it through on YouTube. Yes, thank you so much, and have an amazing afternoon today, and have a great day. Yeah,
Thank you.
bye bye.
Yeah.
Please do now stand up and let me to shout 500 hallelujah.
Baba, go straight to the
Okay,
point.
good. Thank you very
Go
much.
straight to the point.
You see, one day I now wake up. As I wake up, I enter one bus going to Osodi.
Even one of Jericho, he said, hallelujah, they cry before he go for.
Baba, go straight to the
Thank you.
point.
That's the point I'm going to.
Tell me, we chant him away. If you don't have testimony to give, you will chant him.